with news from across the state. This is Metro News Midday, presented by Salango Law, with 13 News and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Barron and Metro News' Dave Allen.
It's Dale Cooper in the host seat for this hour, getting you ready for hour number 3 of Midday. Coming up, we're going to talk about hunting and fishing show. We're going to talk about a high-profile firing in the U.S. government. Also, there's a documentary on the Skylar Neese murder from several years ago that we covered on this network. We're going to find out about that. And then Andrew Donaldson is going to join me at the bottom of the hour. We're going to do Open Lines, West Virginia, and more. That's all coming up on this hour of Metro News Midday.
Metro News Midday is presented by Salango Law. SalangoLaw.com. Join in by calling 800-765-8255 or text 304-TALK-304. Let's go live to downtown Charleston. Here's Dave Allen.
Presented by Salango Law, SalangoLaw.com. This is Metro News Midday. I'm Dale Cooper, not Dave Allen. Dave will be back tomorrow, so you can tune in for Dave, both here on the network and locally in Charleston, where this show originates from. Dave will be back tomorrow. But thanks for tuning in today. Appreciate you tuning in to Metro News Midday. They let me out of the cage of Hotline, which precedes this show from 3 to 6. That's daily with Dave Weekly and me. That comes on the Metro News stations, probably the same station this one is on and others. So you're welcome to stay tuned after this show for that one. But for the next hour, we have some good stuff that we're going to bring to you. We're going to talk about the West Virginia Hunting and Fishing Outdoor Sports Show that's going to be happening in Morgantown this upcoming weekend. Later on in the hour, Kristyn Burtt's going to join us. You might know her name from Hotline. She's a guest of ours on there, but she is dialed in on Hollywood. And there's this documentary that is starting tomorrow, documentary series that's starting tomorrow on the Skylar Neese murders. Which was, of course, a huge story in the state, and Metro News covered that quite a bit back in 2012 when it happened. So we're going to find out a little bit about that documentary series that you can start watching tomorrow on Hulu. And then Andrew Donaldson is going to join me. He's from West Virginia Watch and the Ordinary Times Magazine. He'll join me at the bottom of the hour. And perfect guest to have on. He does some national punditry on politics in the United States. And Christine Noem was just fired as director of DHS. She is no longer the head of that department. Senator Markwayne Mullin has replaced her as the head of DHS. And so Andrew will join us, and we'll be able to comment on that story, plus take your phone calls and texts. And Andrew also has some remembrances of Lou Holtz as well. So those are all things that we're going to tackle this hour, and looking forward to you being a part of it. You can send in texts to get ready for the bottom of the hour. That text line number is 304-825-5304. That's 304-TALK-304. We'll give out the phone number and that text line again when we get closer to Open Line West Virginia at the bottom of the hour with me and Andrew Donaldson today. But right now, let's head to Morgantown. We need to go to Metro News North, and we're going to talk to Rachelle and Kelly, and we're going to talk about the West Virginia Fishing and Hunting Outdoor Sports Show that's coming up in Morgantown this weekend. Ladies, how are you doing this afternoon?
We're doing great. How are you?
Doing very well. Thanks for taking a few minutes out to share a little bit about this hunting and fishing show. We've been doing this for quite some time now. This is how many years has this fishing show been going on in Morgantown? It's over 20 years now. Is that right?
This is the 24th year.
Wow. So over 2 decades in that they've been doing this. It's going to be at the Ruby Community Center. That's going to be on Saturday and Sunday. And give me a breakdown of this thing. I was looking over some of it. Of course, we've been promoting this for a long time. I don't want to bury the lead. The Elvis of the outdoors, Chris Lawrence, is going to be up there this weekend doing his show and shaking hands and giving out some of his signed autographed pictures if you want to stop by and see Chris Lawrence. But tell us a little bit about this outdoor show that's going to be indoors, but it's indoors in 100,000 square feet. There's going to be over 200 vendors. What's going on up there this weekend?
Oh, what's not going on up here this weekend? We have all kinds of things. It's not just a hunter or a fisherman's paradise. This is for the whole family. We literally have something for everyone. We want you to, as it warms up, bring your family out. You're going to find everything from jerky to pickles to tractors to RVs to knives, guns, and everything that you can think of outdoors. That's what is going to be here this weekend.
And those things are brought to us by a wide diversity of vendors. And what's great about this show that you have is that these vendors aren't just West Virginia vendors. These are vendors that come from all over the region or even the world in some cases, offering not only products but also services. You have destination hunts and different things like that you can check into.
Yes, we have people from all over the United States, people from Canada, South Africa,
Can-Am has come on board as our show sponsor again this year, so we're excited about that. They're here now setting up their display, and it's incredible.
So give me a little bit of I want to talk about some of the kind of the on-hand celebrities that will be there in just a minute, but I want to just give people an idea of what they'll see when they get there. When you arrive at the Ruby Community Center, this is going to be a huge floor layout. You pay your admission, you get in, and then it's just an open floor where you can go and you can tour the different vendor booths and things along those lines. Is there a schedule of events that people should check out just in case there are some events that they want to look into?
We do. We do have seminars all day long on Saturday and on Sunday. So they'll want to go to wvoutdoorsportshow.com and check out our seminar list. We got some great seminars this year from Hunt Chef, who will be doing live wild game cooking, live fishing seminars. We also have some kids seminars. We have the Zoology Zone Science Center coming, and he is awesome, and he brings all kinds of reptiles and snakes, and he is fabulous with the kids.
That all sounds like a great time. So this is a huge family destination on top of everything else. If you just want to go and hang out with folks in your community that like the outdoors as well, and you want to peruse some of these products or services or whatever, it's going to be a social event too.
Oh, absolutely.
I like the fact that you have not only the Hunt Chef that's going to be there, but from Mountain Monsters, Wild Bill's going to be there as well. Our folks from Three Guys Before the Game is going to be recording a podcast from there. The Jurassic Park vehicles will be on display. There's going to be an indoor trout attraction. And this is like a mini little outdoor circus that's going to be taking place this weekend. It's absolutely fantastic.
That's exactly what it is.
What a great way to put it, Dale. What a great way to put it.
And all of these types of things are fun because you're going to have the reptiles live. That's going to be on Sunday. The winter bass fishing and fishing etiquette. Just all kinds of. There's just something for everyone that's going to come out there. Not just the products. And I think there's even some vendors that will have some foods and stuff too, like jerky and things like that, if folks want to come by.
Oh, absolutely.
Jerky, cheeses, seasoning, sauces, you name it.
Candy, fudge, pickles, of course.
Coffee.
Yes.
Now, there's a couple things when I was perusing down through the different events, and we have a big hunting and fishing show down here in Charleston. So I know, some of the things that go into these and some of the amazing things. A couple things that's kind of unique that I'm really interested in is there's going to be a falconry demonstration, and that's going to be on Sunday. That's kind of neat. If you've never seen someone do something like that, I have, and that's a real talent and something that you can really see the majesty. Let's try that word again of these birds. It's really something else.
That's the seminar that Rachelle leaves the building and leaves Kelly to take care of it, because I do not do birds.
Don't do birds.
Yeah. Laurel Fork Falconry, Colin and Tiffany bring some of the most beautiful raptors, from red-tailed hawks to sometimes they bring owls, but they are gorgeous, gorgeous creatures, and he does a great seminar.
That just sounds like it's going to be a fun time, and it's something unique that you can check into if you've never seen one of these predators in action and seen how someone who's a master trainer can put this together. From what I've seen before, they're really magnificent presentations and very entertaining. That, again, something that's great for the entire family.
And we don't want people to freak out. We do have the reptiles separated from the raptors,
Oh, yeah, right.
It's not going to be Nat Geo live here at the show.
I'm glad you mentioned that because that could really be potentially a problem. Just something great going on with every day on Saturday and Sunday. The show hours Saturday are 9 to 7 and then Sunday 9 to 4. Is that right?
That's correct.
It should be very easy to get to. That's going to be this coming Saturday and Sunday, March 7th and 8th, the West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show that's going to be at the Ruby Community Center at Milan Park that you're going to be able to go to. And I have the list of vendors here, but it would take the rest of the show for me to go down every vendor and organization and different things that's going to be out there. But it's going to be a great time with all kinds of outdoor vendors, service providers, folks that are your neighbors, as well as folks from all across the country that will come in and show their wares, their services, different things that you can get. How much is the admission cost to this?
Adults are $12, kids 6 to 12, and veterans are $5, and kids under 5 are free. And we have a ton of giveaways you can register to. We've got a lot of nice, great prizes to give away this weekend.
That sounds absolutely amazing. And so you want to check these things out and head up there. It's a full-time family event, and really $12, $5, whatever it is you're paying, that's really cheap to get in for anything these days. Very, very very worthwhile. So that is coming up this weekend. It's going to be at the Ruby Community Center in Morgantown. It's going to be the West Virginia Outdoor Show is coming up this weekend on the 7th and 8th. I appreciate you guys joining me today, Rachelle and Kelly, and telling us a little bit about this event that's going to be coming up this weekend in Morgantown. And we look forward to seeing you there this weekend.
Thank you for having us. Thank you, everyone, this weekend.
Appreciate you being on. We appreciate that. So that is what's going on this Morgantown with the West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show. That's going to be on Saturday and Sunday. More information, you can head on over to the website and check that out. So let's go ahead and do this. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to be joined by Kristyn Burtt. She is a reporter out in Hollywood that's done entertainment correspondence for Metro News Hotlines for over a decade now. But she's down into Hollywood and knows a bit about this documentary series that's going to be released starting tomorrow with episode 1. It's called With Friends Like These. It is the story of Skylar Neese, which was the tragic murder that happened here in West Virginia back in 2012. That documentary series is coming out on Hulu tomorrow, so we're going to find out more about that when we come back. You're listening to Metro News Midday, brought to you by Salango Law. I'm Del Cooper, and we'll be back right after this.
Hi, I'm Chris Lawrence, and the great outdoors is coming inside. Join me at the 24th Annual West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show presented by Can-Am this weekend at Milan Park in Morgantown. More than 100,000 square feet of fishing gear and hunting supplies, outfitters and charter boats, ATVs, campers and tractors, guns, knives, and much more, all under one roof. An outdoorsman's paradise. The West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show this Saturday and Sunday in Morgantown. Doors open both days at 9 a.m.
Welcome to Biscuit Country, where joy is measured one ladle at a time, where smiles come with a side of gravy, warming the soul. Start your morning at Tudor's Biscuit World with our super breakfast, or dig into the Big Tater, crispy potatoes topped with eggs and bacon, then crowned with savory gravy. And don't forget the classic, gravy over a biscuit. Welcome to Biscuit Country, where at Tudor's, you're always home.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
When your car is making a strange noise.
Start your new year off right with a new ride from Dan Cava GMC. Come explore our 2026 GMC Acadias. Spacious, smooth, and made for everyday life. It's truly a fan favorite. Drive into winter with a new 2026 GMC Sierra, now up to $12,000 off, or lease as low as $499 a month. So upgrade your ride this year with us at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop Thora.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Hi, I'm Chris Lawrence. Make plans to join me at the Mountain State's premier Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show presented by Can-Am, Saturday and Sunday, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. Over 200 vendor booths and 100,000 square feet of everything outdoors, all under one roof. Great prizes, seminars, and kids fish for free in the Academy Sports Trout Pond. It's the 24th Annual West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. Doors open both days at 9 a.m.
Hardwood Heat meets the Mountain State in Charleston. The 2026 West Virginia Girls High School Basketball State Championships, presented by Chick-fil-A. Saturday, March 14th. Every possession, every roar of the crowd, every championship moment live on Metro News Television, powered by GoMart. Watch on mobile, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, LG TV, and select Samsung Smart TVs. Details at WVMetroNewsTV.com to get in the action.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
When I was heavy, being on my feet all day seemed like torture. It makes you feel defeated. I'm just going to be like this for the rest of my life. But then I thought, I'm done acting like that. I'm not going to be like that anymore. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 265 pounds. It's always been my goal to have my own place. I want everyone to feel welcome here. I would never have been able to do all these things before without WVU Medicine.
Start your new year off right with a new ride from Dan Cava GMC. Come explore our 2026 GMC Acadias. Drive into winter with a new 2026 GMC Sierra. Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop Thorough.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Touchdown!
I'm Dale Cooper. You're listening to Metro News Midday. If you have a child who is a junior in high school in West Virginia or know someone that does, please listen up. Here's your opportunity to win a full scholarship from West Virginia Wesleyan College that includes room, board, tuition, and fees. The 19th Annual West Virginia Scholar Program is presented by ZMM Architects and Engineers and the West Virginia Farm Bureau. The deadline is May 3rd. For details, go to wvmetronews.com to apply. That's wvmetronews.com. Again, the application date is May 3rd, so you want to make sure that you sign up for that. I usually help editing the videos of the parents and the students that interview for those things and enjoy watching them. So please get your applications in if you are going to apply for that scholarship reward. You're listening to Metro News Midday, brought to you by SalangoLaw.com. Let's bring on to the hotline now. That's the next show, but let's bring on to the midday hotline now. It's Kristyn Burtt. She's going to join us now to talk a little bit about this documentary series, Friends Like These, the Skylar Neese story that's coming out on Hulu. I think starting tomorrow is when the first episode is. Kristyn, how are you doing today?
Doing great. Thanks for having me.
Really appreciate you coming on, sort of an emergency guest appearance with us. But when I knew that I wanted to talk about this documentary that was coming out tomorrow, I just wanted to kind of touch base with you. I know that we mentioned it a little bit on your regular Monday slot with Dave Weekly on Hotline. But this documentary is going to be very interesting. The tagline on it, the series examines the disappearance and murder of 16-year-old Morgantown area teen, focusing on friendship, betrayal, teen psychology, and the role social media played in the case. What are you hearing about this documentary? What's some of the details on it?
Yeah, some of the details, and some of you, of course, maybe remember if you were in the area at the time. I mean, this is a story that took place July 6, 2012. It was Skylar and her two best friends, Sheila Eddy and Rachel Schoaf. They went out, they snuck out, after midnight, and they were supposedly like heading out to smoke a little weed, as teenagers sometimes do. But we're talking about three friends who for a long time had been a really tight unit. And, Skylar was a straight A student, wanted to go to law school, was very well liked, but all of a sudden her two best friends turned on her. Now, they lied to Skylar's parents saying, oh, no, we dropped her off at home. She should be there. I don't know why she didn't come home. When the truth was they drove over to Pennsylvania and Sheila and Rachel stabbed their friend over 50 times, which is shocking to think about.
Yeah, I remember when the story broke. We covered it across Metro News. We have a station that broadcast this program in Morgantown, WAJR, that covered this thing in great detail, and Metro News did as well. And really, I'm not surprised by this because this was at the time one of the things that was kind of scandalous about it was when the murderers admitted that the reason that they did this was simply, and I think it's a direct quote, we didn't like her anymore. I mean, that sounds. It's such a terrible thing when you think about for the reason to murder someone. That's absolutely terrible, and that's sort of the focus. The one understanding this documentary series is exploring is exactly how these types of relationships break down.
Absolutely. And the dynamic of three, that we always know that they always say three is a crowd. It seems like at some point, both Sheila and Rachel turned against Skylar, but also the role of social media. And they talk a little bit about it in the series in terms of how Twitter played a role in this and how the three girls communicated over this. And, for at the time, you have to remember Twitter was on the newer side in 2012. But for investigators, like really unraveling the messages, this was like the first real case where they saw that social media played a role in a murder like this. and how it really helped break down this friendship. And I think for parents, it's always a wake-up call because social media is still an issue in 2026. And this is something that played out in 2012 and 2013.
And I have a feeling that if maybe someone in the state, I don't know if anybody casually followed the story, but if you didn't know all the details, it might be somewhat shocking to follow this thing along as they get into the episodes and you find out just how much premeditation went into place, how much the gathering of the evidence included the obvious premeditation purchase of the equipment and different things along those lines that the girls were going to use to murder Skylar. It's really, as you say, in this sort of era that we're in with social media and constant contact and different things along those lines, it's really quite startling to see something so kind of plainly laid out.
Right. And with girls who are 16 years old, I think that's the other thing. It's just completely heartbreaking. I think as any parent would be to watch all of this unfold and think not my daughter was targeted, or on the flip side, that my daughter was capable of doing something like this. And it was Rachel who kind of cracked the case. She did have a nervous breakdown, and she was the one who led investigators to the body. And she wound up getting 30 years with possible parole after 10. She's been up for parole a couple times and been denied, but she pleaded guilty to second-degree murder. And then Rachel is spending life in prison with the possibility of parole. And it's kind of interesting because we're going to hear more about Rachel later on this year. She has another parole hearing in June 2026, so in just a few months. And then Sheila, who's in prison for life, does have a parole hearing in 2028. So this is all still very fresh.
We are talking to Kristyn Burtt, the final couple of moments here with her from Hollywood. We're talking about Friends Like These, The Murder of Skylar Neese. It's a documentary series that's premiering on Hulu. Do you know if that's going to be midnight tonight or at some point tomorrow? I'm not sure what their release schedule is there.
Yeah, the release schedule will be midnight tonight, so you should be able to stream it right away. It is a 3-part series, so you'll have access to all 3 immediately on Hulu. Or if you have Hulu in Disney Plus, it's also available there.
And just broadly speaking, the last question for you, these types of, we've seen a lot of these recently, and honestly, I think it might go back to like podcasting. I mean, true crime's been around forever, but the Serial podcast several years ago that really got a lot of like near cases that got a lot of coverage. This seems to be a part of that same genre of media that we're seeing now across different video, audio, and everything else, really exploring in depth these true crime stories.
Absolutely. True crime is a category in streaming, particularly for Hulu and for Netflix, that do very well for them. It's just a genre that people gravitate towards. Oftentimes they become social media hot topics as well. You'll see it on Twitter. You'll see it on TikTok, people discussing these cases. And for investigators, for a lot of investigators, if they have a cold case, this is an opportunity for maybe them to get in new clues, new evidence, new tips. So I know that a lot of times investigators encourage these documentaries for families. Now, Skylar Neese's family does participate in this one, so they did give the green light for this particular Hulu series. But for other families, it can be very painful to revisit this. So that's going to be starting on Hulu tonight at midnight. If you want to watch the Friends Like These, the Skylar Neese story, that's going to be on Hulu starting tonight at midnight. Kristyn, thank you so much for popping on with us for a few minutes. I appreciate your insights into these things in Hollywood and give us a little bit of a grounded reality check on what it is we're going to be experiencing. Thank you so much for your time today. You bet. See you on Monday. That's Kristyn Burtt. Thank you so much again. A regular on Hotline, usually around 4:30 on Mondays on Hotline, recapping all that's going on in Hollywood. We're going to take a break now. When we come back, Andrew Donaldson and Open Lines West Virginia, 304-825-5304 is the text line number, or you can call 1-800-765-8255. We'll be back right after this. I'm Dale Cooper. This is Midday on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
And now we'll go to the Metro News anchor desk for a check of local news. You're listening to Midday on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Jeff Jenkins. State lawmakers are on track to pass the state's budget today with 9 days left in the regular legislative session, and that would represent the earliest passage of the budget in decades. Senate Finance Committee Chairman Jason Barrett saying this just before presenting the deal to fellow senators earlier today on the floor of the Senate.
This is the final compromise between the Senate and House for fiscal year 2027 budget.
That final compromise passed the Senate today, 30-3. The House expected to take up the compromise during its 4 o'clock session, and then that budget bill will be sent to the governor. Governor Morrissey would then have 5 days to make his decision on the bill after receiving it. Lawmakers would then have time to override any line item vetoes before the end of the regular session a week from Saturday. Now, House of Delegate Speaker Roger Hanshaw was asked about passing the budget with more than a week to go before the end of the session during an appearance earlier today on Metro News Talk Line.
This is the time when the legislature finalizes its budget, always has been. We're a little bit early this year, but still, this is the time of the year where most major spending decisions have been made, and that we're really negotiating the finer points of what's in the bills passed by the two houses.
What's in the bill is consideration of a 5% income tax cut, not the 10% that Governor Patrick Morrisey has said many times that he wants. This budget that's passing today just includes that 5%. You're listening to Metro News. For 40 years, the voice of West Virginia.
Come on, Liam, let's go. Get open. Come on, go for it. Wake up. Wake up, Liam. Oh, come on, use your head. Gotta want it. Dominate.
There he goes again. Liam's dad yelling from the stands, trying to relive his glory days.
I know. We're just trying to have fun out here and play with our friends. Like, it's not that deep.
He seriously needs to get a grip.
Does he really think he's helping Liam play better?
I feel bad for Liam. I know he's embarrassed his dad ruins every game like this. I mean, I would be too.
Someone needs to tell him this isn't about him.
Yeah, stop trying to coach from the stands and just cheer.
That's what Liam wants.
That's what we all want.
Be your student's biggest fan, not their biggest critic. This message presented by the WVSSAC and the West Virginia Athletic Directors Association.
Some members of the 130th Airlift Wing of the West Virginia National Guard are returning to West Virginia today after being deployed for more than 3 months in the Horn of Africa. Newlywed Jaden Walker is waiting on her husband.
I have a bunch of family, so usually it's not new for me, but being married, newlyweds, it's very nerve-wracking because I want him to come home.
They're returning home to Charleston this afternoon. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Jeff Jenkins.
What's on your to-do list? Check your mail? Get groceries? How about getting your annual vaccines? We can help you check that off.
You've got this.
Yes, you do. Because we've got you. With local vaccine events and access to transportation, protecting yourself and your loved ones is not a chore anymore.
You've got this.
A message from the Aging and Disability Vaccination Collaborative, powered by U.S. Aging. Funded by the U.S. Administration for Community Living through a grant to U.S. Aging. Learn more at yougotthis.usaging.org.
This is Metro News Midday, presented by Salango Law. SalangoLaw.com.
I'm Dale Cooper, filling in for Dave Allen and Amanda Barron in hour number 3 of Metro News Midday. Thanks for tuning in. Brought to you by SalangoLaw.com. Have a half an hour left in the program. It's Open Lines West Virginia. You're welcome to call in or text in. Phone line number is 1-800-765-8255, 1-800-765-TALK. You can text in as well. That is 304-825-5304, 304-825-5304. As we're waiting for folks that may want to weigh in on the conversation, to either send us a text or to call in, I have my friend Andrew Donaldson on the line. He is a contributor at West Virginia Watch, editor at the Ordinary Times Magazine, writes for the Fayetteville Tribune, and really all over the place as far as media goes. Andrew, how you doing today?
I'm well, sir. Always a thrill and a privilege to join the majestic Metro News Midday. Glad to be with you, buddy. And let's just start with this, though. Thoughts with our buddy Dave. I've had the honor of getting to sub in for him once in a while, so hurry up and feel better and come back and show us amateurs how to do this professionally, buddy. We appreciate you, but always an honor to be here, my friend.
Really appreciate you coming on, and congratulations for your recent pawpawhood that's coming on. Grandfather, congratulations on that.
Yeah, feel old, but it's good. Happy news. Oldest and her husband are expecting somewhere around September. So we're blessed, man. Who's got it better than us? Nobody.
I hear you. You're a rabbit's whisker younger than me, and you're pawpaw already. I'm hoping I get to see my grandkid at some point in the future.
I'll loan you a couple of my adult kids. Every now and then they need a break from me and I from them. So we'll work it out, buddy.
Yeah, that sounds good. Hey, perfect time to have you on. You do a lot of the punditry thing, talking about politics in the U.S. And with a live show, things are always breaking. And so a perfect opportunity for us to talk about maybe the biggest news today anyway, after some really contentious congressional hearings and so forth. It looks like DHS, head of DHS, Kristi Noem, is out. She has been fired by President Trump.
Yeah, so the reporting on this bubbled up last night really late. There was conversations and some reporting coming out that she was in real trouble and that the president had been floating with some of the Capitol Hill folks that matter, maybe Mark Wayne Mullen, and people were like, well, that'd be really quick. And then lo and behold, it actually got the trigger pulled on it here in a little bit. The straw that broke the back here was she had been contentious in a lot of ways. She had a lot of detractors inside of the White House, inside of Team Trump, for the way she has conducted herself, both professionally and personally. But what really broke the back is she broke the cardinal rule. You can't throw the boss under the bus. And during congressional hearings yesterday, there's a very, very contentious item about a multi-million-dollar ad campaign, and she says that Trump approved it. The White House came out really quick and said he did not approve it, and according to reporting, that was the last straw. So now Mark Wayne Mullen of Oklahoma is going to be the nominee for that position. Interestingly enough, the president has been feuding with Governor Stint out in Oklahoma recently, had a little bit of a tiff with him about things, and that's who's going to name his replacement. But that's the big headline outside of the Iran war right now, is that Kristi Noem is out, the first cabinet. There's always cabinet shuffle about this time of the year, usually after the midterms. She's the first one to go. So if she was in your pool, you win.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, that was actually one of the qualifiers for the Democrats' government shutdown messaging, was that, hey, for us to even start talking about this thing, there has to be changes at DHS. Although it may not be for the reasons that they wanted, that is one of the check boxes off of their list.
Yeah, but they're not going to get any of that out of Senator Mullen when he becomes Secretary Mullen. He is very much an ally of the president. That's probably one of the reasons this went so fast. I'm sure he was in the ear of the president, and they were in communication about doing this. But he believes the MAGA agenda wholeheartedly. He is a fighter. He likes to fight. He likes to fight with the press. He likes to fight with the people on the left. He likes to fight with Democrats. He's an MMA guy. He's actually competed in MMA, so he likes to fight. He is going to very much hold the line. So if the Democrats think they're going to gain anything other than maybe the circus getting died down a little bit, you're not. But some of the personal stuff with Kristi Noem and the things surrounding her, there's plenty of people inside of Trump world, especially the administration, that is not going to be too upset to see that circus leave in the middle of what's going to be a very contentious midterm election.
Yeah, I said it's the biggest news of the day, and it might be, at least for the moment of the headline capture. That's something that's certainly been that's certainly in the top of folks' mind. But these things are it's not very often, and you can't. I don't think if you're a national Democrat, you're carrying away any real message of prevailing over anything, because the terms of the release here really, as you just detailed, it didn't have anything to do with the demands that the Democrats were making. It didn't have anything to do with accountability, really, more so just crossing the president.
Yeah, and that's the trick to all of this is, cabinet secretaries serve at the pleasure of the president, as does a lot of people in the administration. The president can hire and fire them as he wills. Of course, there's congressional oversight on his nominees, but at the pleasure of the president means something. And when you have President Trump, who very much has very distinct rules on how he wants you to conduct himself, namely, don't blame me for something you're getting flack for, and you cross the boss, this is going to happen, and she's out.
So we'll see what happens as far as that goes. We'll see when Mark Wayne Mullen is he doesn't have to be approved. He can just be appointed. So we'll see how that goes, and how, isn't that right, or does he have to be approved?
He'll be appointed.
He'll have to go
He'll
through
still have to be
standard approval.
Yeah, because he's not a cabinet. Now, if you were going cabinet official, there is a back door to that. But he's a U.S. senator. He will probably get approved. But look for all those arguments you just brought up. Whenever he does get in front of a committee, they're going to bring up all that exact same stuff. And the fact that he was a colleague isn't going to shield him from that whatsoever.
Yeah, we'll see how that moves. Talking a little bit about the Iran story, as far as the war in Iran goes. This thing, I'll be the first to admit, I'm not a war expert. This isn't something that I have insightful knowledge on, because I've never been in the military. I'm not part of this. You have, you're a veteran of the military. You follow these types of things, so that's why I rely on other folks to help me out. Walk me through kind of where we are right now as far as the Iran war goes. I heard initially that this was supposed to be very short. Now I'm hearing September, I think, of 2026 is a potential end date for what they're looking at now. I don't know how we get from days to months that quickly, so I'm a little behind on what's going on here.
You're not behind, because the messaging has been a bit of a mess. Let's break two parts off of it. Militarily, just strictly what the military is doing, this has been brilliant. What we have achieved, what we have with our allies, the military has performed exceptionally. So all the criticism of this, the military has just really shown out what their capabilities are. They have performed exceptionally well. We have taken casualties. Unfortunately, we have 6 dead Americans so far. There's been quite a few civilian casualties, but the military is performing amazingly. The questions here, though, is the same as always. There's no question about America's battle prowess. You give us a battle somewhere, we're probably going to win it, pretty handily. What's the goal? What's the strategy? What's the long-term goals? And the president has some reasoning here. If he would just come out and have said from the beginning, look, we got 47 years of dead Americans on this regime's hand. You could go all the way back to the hostage crisis. They tortured a CIA station chief to death. They killed hundreds of Marines in Beirut, run right on through. My generation, a lot of the incoming stuff we took from over the fences, missiles, mortars, a lot of that stuff was coming from Iranian hardware, and in a lot of cases, Iranian-attached insurgencies. So we have a case for that. If you're going to rub a bloody shirt around, that would be a way to do it, and he could do it. But the messaging's been a little bit of a mess. Now, the Ayatollah is dead, and that's a good thing for the greater world. Nobody's going to mourn him. He's an evil man with all that blood on his hand, tens of thousands of people. But again, what's the goal? The military is going to perform well, but now you get into what we've always seen historically. What's the end game? What's the off-ramp? What's the objective? When are we going to declare a win or an objective or something and get out of there? Because you can't just be there forever, and there's not a long appetite. I don't think this could go till the fall. I don't think there's an appetite by the public or anybody else for it. Watch for the administration to start trying to find a high point to go, okay, we win, we're going to start withdrawing down, because I don't know that you're going to get regime change without boots on the ground, and just putting in some forces ain't going to do that. Look for an off-ramp pretty soon here, hopefully.
Yeah, I get a little bit, and again, I'm not a great scholar when it comes to the history of these things, but when I start hearing about arming the Kurds and getting the Kurds to join the battle to fight against the Iranian regime that's remaining and things like that, man, that sounds like an awful lot of mistakes we've made in the past.
Well, number one, if you're a Kurd, why would you answer the phone? Because we have treated them very horribly. And there's 30 to 40 million Kurds, and it's an alphabet soup of different groups. So these aren't the Kurds we dealt with in Iraq. Some of them are Iraq and Iranians. Some of them are Iranians. You've got the Kurds in Turkey. That's a whole separate thing. The big thing here is, what is the plan? You know, we killed the Khomeini. We've killed most of their command and control structure. If we completely decimate their military ability, especially their missile ability, I think that would be a good point for the president to come in and say, okay, we've achieved our goals. We're going to start scaling down. What he wants and what the administration wants is like a Venezuela deal, where somebody comes in and goes, okay, I'm in charge now, I'm going to cut a deal, and he can say, I cut a deal. But I don't know that you're going to get that with this particular group of people. But that is the hope, and what you just brought up is so important, and we're just going to have to keep saying it again and again. What's the objective? What are we doing? We killed Khomeini, but now what are we doing? Well, we're reducing their military. Okay, once we reduce it, then what are we going to do? Because then you start running out of targets to bomb, and then you've got lives being risked for who knows what. So the president needs to find a real good hard line. They need to very much tighten up the messaging on this thing, and they need to figure out what we're doing, get it done, and get our people out of there and get them back home as safely as possible with as few casualties as possible.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the key, to try to get as many of our people home safely as we possibly can, and hope that works out. We'll see how that goes as far as the messaging goes. If things start to if there starts to be clarity in sort of what the point is and what we ultimately can declare, a victory or mission accomplished or whatever it might be. Hopefully that there is an end point, and that's in weeks or several weeks and not in months or several years. I don't have any appetite for that myself, as it turns out. Now, I have to ask you this question, if you don't mind. Can you hold through the break for me? Because I know that you also have a story to tell about Lou Holtz and a couple other things that's a little bit more lighthearted, that if you don't mind hanging on, we'll tackle that when we come back. That's good stuff.
Absolutely.
That's Andrew Donaldson is with me. He is a contributor with West Virginia Watch, editor at the Ordinary Times Magazine, a Fayetteville Tribune contributor, just a part of the program we like to bring on every once in a while with Andrew Donaldson. Glad he's with us today. Let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about Lou Holtz. Andrew has a story about Lou Holtz. We'll talk about a couple of other things, plus your phone calls or texts. If you want to get in on Open Line West Virginia, that line works for both texts and the phone line. You can send in a text to 304-825-5304. That's 304-TALK-304. You can also send in, or you can also call in. That's 1-800-765-8255, 1-800-765-TALK. We'll take a break and be back right after this. You're listening to Midday on Metro News, brought to you by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
At Glenville State University, we are pioneers. With over 45 undergraduate degree programs, 17 NCAA athletic teams, and countless campus organizations and activities, we're here to help you build your story while becoming a part of ours. Glenville State University. Your dream, your future, your story. Visit glenville.edu today for more information.
If you have a child who's a junior in high school in West Virginia or know someone that does, please listen up. Here's your opportunity to win a full scholarship from West Virginia Wesleyan College that includes room, board, tuition, and fees. The 19th Annual West Virginia Scholar Program is presented by ZMM Architects and Engineers and the West Virginia Farm Bureau. The deadline is May 3rd. For details, go to wvmetronews.com to apply. That's wvmetronews.com. Remember, application deadline is May 3rd.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
When I was heavy, being on my feet all day seemed like torture. Makes you feel defeated. I'm just gonna be like this for the rest of my life. But then I thought, I'm done acting like that. I'm not gonna be like that anymore. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 265 pounds. It's always been my goal to have my own place. I want everyone to feel welcome here. I would never have been able to do all these things before without WVU Medicine.
Hardwood Heat meets the Mountain State in Charleston. The 2026 West Virginia Girls High School Basketball State Championships, presented by Chick-fil-A. Saturday, March 14th. Every possession, every roar of the crowd, every championship moment live on Metro News Television, powered by GoMart. Watch on mobile, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, LG TV, and select Samsung Smart TVs. Details at wvmetronewstv.com to get in the action.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
On the next State of Minds.
I came here to Morgantown, the WVU. I wanted to play football. Tried to walk on, but I was humbled very quickly. So I joined the WVU forestry team. What my father taught me was the importance of hard work and the importance of sweat equity.
Hi, I'm Chris Lawrence. Make plans to join me at the Mountain State's premier fishing, hunting, and outdoor sports show presented by Can-Am, Saturday and Sunday, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. Over 200 vendor booths and 100,000 square feet of everything outdoors, all under one roof. Great prizes, seminars, and kids fish for free in the Academy Sports Trout Pond. It's the 24th annual West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. Doors open both days at 9 a.m.
A better us.
It is exactly 10 minutes until the top of the hour. You're listening to Metro News Midday. I'm Dale Cooper filling in for Dave Allen just for one day. Dave will be back tomorrow in the captain's chair. We'll look forward to Dave being back. But you got me for the next 10 minutes or so, and you got Andrew Donaldson, contributor to West Virginia Watch and editor at the Ordinary Times Magazine. Talked a little bit about some current events in our previous segment, but current event as of yesterday, of course, West Virginia native and great college football coach Lou Holtz passed away yesterday at the age of 89 years old. And Holtz, of course, was from the state. He didn't spend a whole lot of time here, but it has been amazing to me, the folks from here that have anecdotes about Lou Holtz and meeting him in some way, shape, or form. Generally very kind anecdotes from everything that I found. I think Andrew has one of those as well. You have a family member that had a run-in with Coach Holtz?
I remember my dad talking about, my dad coached high school football in West Virginia back in the late 70s, early 80s before I came along and I took up all his real time. And he let that go. But I remember him talking about going to coaches' conferences, and Lou Holtz would come and do the coaches' conferences. They would all go as a group, and they would always talk about his self-depreciating humor, and he was supposed to talk, and he would talk for a long time and didn't say a word about football. And he goes, why would we talk about football? You're here to see me, that kind of a humor and that kind of stuff. But we actually met him one time back in, I think it was 2006. He did a USO tour over to Iraq. It was him, Les Miles, who was coach at LSU at the time, and some other folks. And they had already been to Iraq and some other places, and they were on their way back, and they'd come back to the States, and we got to meet him as they were transiting. And he was just kind of doing the handshake line thing. He goes, "Where are you from?" "West Virginia, sir. How you doing?" And he hit me with two right off the top. And he looked over at Les Miles and he went, "I've been hanging out with these LSU people. It's so good that I can talk fast and use big words again." So he knew the stereotypes and how to play off it. And then when he went to walk away, he looked back at me and he went, "I'm not sorry about '88," and just kept walking. And I'm like, oh, just stab me in the soul. Because, you know, the people our age, we've never gotten over it.
Nope.
We're never going to get over it. It's just not going to be a thing. And if Major Harris hadn't gotten hurt, he wouldn't have that national title. I don't want to speak ill of the dead, but let's call truth what it is. No, he was a wonderful man, but he had all those stories you're hearing nationally and locally, he had that self-depreciating humor. He was a really humble guy, and that's why a lot of people remember him. Is like he always knew the room he was in. He was a people person through and through, in the best sense of the word. So yeah, a great guy. He will be missed, even though he, broke the hearts of my entire generation of WVU fans. Yeah,
just briefly here, we got a text in during the break that fits in perfectly with what you were just talking about. This is from the 304-389. I met Lou Holtz here in Charleston a few years back at a Christians athlete meeting. I walked up and got his autograph, handed him my phone, and put Major Harris on the line with him for the first time he had spoken to him since the game in 1988. And he told Major Harris, who was a friend of mine, he told Major that if they, being Notre Dame, would have played West Virginia in a best of three, that they would have lost the championship.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but it's just one of them things ingrained. Brother, we're the same age, man. It's just ingrained in your soul.
It definitely is, man.
We ain't over it yet, folks. We ain't over it yet.
No, that's absolutely true. I remember where I was. Like, a lot of people have that date where they remember where they were during momentous events. I remember a lot about that night of the Fiesta Bowl losing to Notre Dame. I remember a lot of that night.
Yeah,
that's good stuff. Andrew, I appreciate your time and coming by today, sharing your story about Lou Holtz, and also giving us some information on the firing of Kristyn Nome and what's going on in Iraq. Thank you so much for your time again today. Really appreciate you coming on.
Hometown radio gets priority with me and Metro News, and you guys do such a great job. And look forward to getting Dave back, and appreciate you, Coop.
I appreciate it, man. That's Andrew Donaldson joining us. He's an editor over at the Ordinary Times Magazine, a contributor with West Virginia Watch, does some great stuff over there. I encourage you to go and check him out. Looking into the studio, and I see the Grand Poobah, Dave Weekley, sitting in there. He's coming up for Hotline, coming up here in just a couple minutes, where we'll reverse sides of the glass. So I'm going to go ahead and take a break. We'll talk to Dave when we come back. You're listening to Hotline on Metro News, brought to you by, this isn't Hotline. You're listening to Midday on Metro News, brought to you by Salango Law. This is Midday on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
We asked parents who adopted teens.
New year, new trucks. Start your year off with a new truck from Dan Calva Toyota World. Now lease a 2025 Tacoma for as low as $299 a month. Save over $7,500 off on select Tundras, or get 2.99% for 72 months. It's your last chance to get a gas model 2025 RAV4. Don't miss out. Come experience cars you can count on year after year. Dan Calva, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the road.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
When I was heavy, being on my feet all day seemed like torture. It makes you feel defeated. I'm just going to be like this for the rest of my life. But then I thought, I'm done acting like that. I'm not going to be like that anymore. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 265 pounds. It's always been my goal to have my own place. I want everyone to feel welcome here. I would never have been able to do all these things before without WVU Medicine.
You want to know what West Virginia is talking about?
It's good to be back in Morgantown today.
Now it's different.
I think it's mostly just business.
What I voted for and what I think makes the most sense.
Well, Dave, this has been a bit of a controversy.
I want to thank the caller last week that said I sounded like Hoppy Kercheval. That was flattering.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talkline on Metro News Television.
The Mountain East Conference men's and women's basketball tournament returns to Wheeling from March 4th through the 8th. West Banco Arena will serve as the host of one of the nation's premier basketball leagues, featuring one of the highest scoring conferences in America. Action begins on Wednesday, March the 4th, and concludes on Sunday, when 2 champions will be crowned. For advance tickets, go to westbancoarena.com. Visit mountaineast.org for tournament information. The 2026 Mountain East Conference Basketball Championships, presented by the Health Plan.
It all comes down to this in Charleston. The 2026 West Virginia Boys High School Basketball State Championships presented by Chick-fil-A. Saturday, March 21st. Every possession, every roar of the crowd, every championship moment. Live on Metro News Television, powered by GoMart. Watch on mobile, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, LG TV, and select Samsung Smart TVs. Details at WVMetroNewsTV.com to get in the action.
Two minutes at the top of the hour. You're listening to Metro News Midday. I'm Dale Cooper. Coming up next on the network is going to be Metro News Hotline, and I'll go to the other side of the glass for that show. The host of Hotline, Dave Weekley, joins me now. How you doing, Dave?
I'm a big fan of that show.
Yeah, that's a great show, man.
Big fan of that show.
You know, I hear that the participants of that show, the host and the producer of that show, are the longest-running show host and producer on the network.
Do those boys upstairs know that?
I don't know.
Well,
it seems like it's something that should be celebrated, you know? Something like
agree.
13 years on the air, you know?
I agree.
Should be celebrated a little bit. So what's coming up today?
Well, as far as the question of the day, man, it is 75 degrees outside today.
Nice.
So we're going to talk a little bit about spring cleaning and that one place in your house, for whatever reason, you just hate to clean it.
Oh, I'm ready for that, yeah.
All right, so that's the question of the day. So we'll rock with that.
Sounds good. That sounds good. What is today? Today's Thursday. That means that we're going to have, Amy Smith coming up as well on Mountain
Smith's
Stage.
on. Kathy Matea's on the show today. Jermaine Lucier's on the program today. We got a Money Minute segment today. We're packed.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great. So that's coming up in about 6.5 minutes. You want to tune in to Hotline on Metro News. But this is Midday. Thanks for tuning into this last hour. Dave Allen will be back tomorrow with Amanda Barron. So things will go back to normal for your Friday to get you ready for the weekend. Thanks once again for tuning in. Thanks for everybody that I had on the program this hour. Coming up next is going to be your top of the hour news. And then in a little over 6 minutes, Dave and I will be back for Hotline. You're listening to Midday on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.